James P. Thomas, and in the Navy I was a first-class petty officer, radarman originally, they became operating specialist, and then in the Air Force I retired as a major. I joined the Naval Reserve when I was a junior in high school, and I was 17 years old. In fact, my dad had to sign me in, and I went through boot camp and during the summer between my junior and senior year, and then stayed in the reserves, and as soon as I graduated from college, I went on active duty. And I went aboard, I went to some schools, and then went aboard the USS Savage DER 386 out of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, which was assigned to Operation Market Time in Vietnam, doing basically boarding and searching and doing coastal patrols during the Vietnam War in 1966. After coming back to Pearl Harbor, which was our home port, I went to Radar A School and volunteered for swift boats. And in November of '67, or actually September of '67, I started swift boat training in Coronado and went through training there and graduated in November of '67. We graduated on a Friday and I was in Vietnam on Tuesday. And then was assigned to Coastal Riverine, or Coastal Division 11 at Antoy. And my first boat was PCF 10. I later served on both PCF 73, PCF 43, and PCF 45, which was at Cameron Bay. After I retired, or after I left Vietnam, I went back, got out of the service. I was discharged at Great Lakes because of, they wanted to check out a wound I received during the '68 Tet Offensive. And I started college. I was discharged from Great Lakes Naval Hospital on the 8th of August, 1969, and started college on the 22nd of August the same year. I had about basically 2.5 weeks off. I joined the reserves right after that and taught radar to a reserve unit in Des Moines, Iowa, until they started a reserve coastal riverine division at Great Lakes, and I became a plank owner of Coastal Riverine Division 2-1 at Great Lakes, and we had nasty class PTFs. And I made first class and became leading petty officer on PTF 19. And I was supposed to get commissioned in the Navy, go into Naval Aviation, and during my junior, senior year, I went to Aviation Reserve Officer Candidate School in Pensacola. While I was a senior at Drake University in Des Moines, I decided to take ground school for aviation taught by the Air Force ROTC, and the teacher for that course, the instructor, was an Air Force colonel who happened to be a Naval Academy grad with a master's degree from MIT. Well, we started talking, and the next thing I know, I'm taking the tests and joining the Air Force. Unfortunately, they took away my waiver, my age waiver for flying, because it was at the end of the Vietnam War, and they put me in missiles at Minot, North Dakota, and I became a missile launch officer. Became an instructor, became a crew commander, and then went on wing staff. I was in Minot, North Dakota for almost 5 years, and then decided to go into a different career field, went into signals intelligence, and after going through various survival schools and signals intelligence schools in San Angelo, Texas, I went through survival school in Fairchild and water survival school in Homestead. I ended up flying on the RC-135 rivet joint out of Athens, Greece. And I flew on RC-135s for about 2.5 years out of there. And we also, during that time, I was deployed to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia during the Iranian hostage situation. And was able to, in fact, I was flying on the AWACS the night the hostages were released out of Tehran. And we were providing advisory support to the 2 Algerian airliners coming out of Tehran, making sure that the Iranian F-14s out of Desfond didn't come up and shoot them down, creating even more problems. So I had a chance, and after the hostages came home, I still stayed there, and we kind of observed what the Iranians and Iraqis were doing, like bombing Abadan and stuff like that. Well, after my tour in Athens, Greece, I was assigned to the National Security Agency, and during that time, I was deployed as a task force commander for Operation Coronet Guard in Panama, and later became Coronet Player, where we did some reconnaissance around El Salvador in the early 1980s. I did that and went back to the agency, and then was assigned to the Pentagon and became the Air Force Program Manager for Operation Security, rode the Air Force Reg 5530. From there, I got promoted to Major and was sent to Army Command General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth for a year. From there, I went to European Command Headquarters, where I did NATO planning and also did intelligence collection management and developed an architecture for collection management that was used during Bosnia, things like that. I did NATO planning for mainly Southern Region NATO exercises in Naples. And after that, after 2.5 years in Stuttgart, Germany at European Command Headquarters, I went back to the agency, went to the Pentagon at the Director of NSA's Liaison Office, the Secretary of Defense, went back to the agency again, and then retired. From there, I was supposed to go work for the agency, but they had a hiring freeze, and I decided to substitute teach and became a special educator. I went to Johns Hopkins, got a master's in special ed, and taught special ed for 24 years, working with children with severe and profound disabilities, and just retired from that about 1.5 years ago. And that's it.